Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gridiron Network Podcast. Myself, I am Lucas, joined by Harry, as always. Episode 2. Today we are going to kick things off. We've got some NFL news to talk about. Got a few big points. But first, Harry, we are kicking off with the talk of town right now. Micah Parsons and Terry McLaurin.
Oh, man, you can go on X and see something about them, I feel like, every other week now. Because for Terry, at least, man, here, we'll get right into it. So with Terry, he requested a trade, and I am very, very iffy about why he's requesting a trade. So he said he wants DK Metcalf money. That would be around $33 million a year. He's 29 years old, and he turns 30 next month. Next month. So by the time the season's going, he's already 30, and he wants over $30 million a year. I mean, the thing with Terry, he's been there since the team sucked. So, he kind of deserves it, I think. And he's by far their best receiver. So, without Terry, I think this offense looks completely different. I mean, obviously, your number one target would probably be Jaden Daniels, for some reason, loves Zach Ertz. So, that would be that. And then you do got Debo there now. But, I mean, what were you calling him last podcast?
Cheeseburger Debo.
Cheeseburger
Getting
Debo.
ready to be upgraded to double cheeseburger Debo.
McDouble Debo is still on that team. And
hey man, $5 McDouble meal right now.
Exactly. And I don't think he's going to be all that personally for this team. I think his best days are behind him. Hopefully he can prove me wrong.
Far behind.
But that's just how I feel about it. I think this is a money move by Terry. I don't think he's getting traded. I'll be honest. What do you think? Yeah, give me your input.
I agree. Yeah, so I agree. I don't think Terry's getting traded. I think, like you said, it's a money move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think he's way too valuable to this team, especially with Jaden Daniels taking off. If you were to take Terry McLaurin away from him, that offense is going to regress so much because they don't have the next guy ready to step up to be in Terry's position yet. They don't have a young guy up and coming. McDouble over there, he's not ready to be wide receiver 1 anytime soon.
Not at all.
He's going to be a good wide receiver 2, maybe mid wide receiver 2, don't get me wrong, but he's not going to be the wide receiver 1. I love Zach Ertz. I still think he is one of the top tight ends in the game, even though he's over the hump at this point, but he's not good enough of a tight end still right now to be the number 1 target on the team. And I think just pay Terry, give him a small deal, 1-2 years. It doesn't have to be a 5-year mega deal.
Mm-hmm.
He's, like you said, he's about to be 30 years old, but pay the man. He deserves it. He's been there for so long. Just give him the money he deserves. We know he's going nowhere. This is one of those trades that, like you said, money play. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, man, I'm really right there with you. And I really do think I'm happy you like Zach Ertz because I do too. I've been a fan forever. And I really do think the one thing he's so valuable in that offense is because he finds that one open spot, he gets there, he sits there.
Yes.
That's literally just perfect for what Jaden needs. And that is just a good number 2 option to Terry. So it'd be obviously devastating if Terry was there, but I'm happy that we both agree that more than likely this is just a money move. And I do agree with you. I don't think he's going to get no 5-year contract. I think it could be at max a 3. And I think they really load up the money those first 2 years and just don't guarantee him anything past that because he'd be 33 by the time that contract's ended.
Yeah, and I think when that time comes, he is gone. He might even retire at that point. But yeah, I don't see them unless he wants to. After getting the big payday, maybe he is willing to take a pay cut when that time does come. But yeah, as of right now, they've got to pay that man.
Yeah,
and then
I'm right there with you.
Sticking with the NFC East, the next big one, and ultimately the biggest one, Micah Parsons, Dallas, Jerry Jones. What are we doing?
I mean, come on, man. This guy is a clown.
He's seriously a clown. Jerry Jones. I don't understand how and why he is still in control of that team. How nobody has just forced him in his sleep to sign papers to give it away, because he clearly doesn't have a hold. He hasn't had a hold on that team in a very, very long time.
Oh, yeah.
He was never that great in the first place. Nope. He was, in my opinion, kind of riding the coattails of people like Jimmy Johnson.
Yep.
And he has rode those highs somehow all the way into the year of 2025.
He said he's doing it until he dies.
He's making horrible decisions. Oh man,
So,
dude, I
so like,
I don't get it.
dude,
I don't
I
get
don't
it.
know. I don't know either. This whole situation is just absolutely nuts.
Like, I know everyone loves to make fun of the Dallas Cowboys because how can you not?
Exactly.
But this feels like we get into this situation with the Cowboys with a new player every single year. It was Dak, then it was CD, and now it's Micah. Except I feel like this time Micah is gone.
Oh, yes. I want to touch more for people listening that maybe don't know what is going on with Micah Parsons. So he posted on X saying how he requested a trade from the Cowboys, and he kind of gave us a story on how that all went down. So Micah said that he tried to stay in Dallas, like that was his end goal. He wanted to play for the Cowboys, and then he said that in March, him and Jerry Jones met and it wasn't supposed to be contract related, but Jerry Jones started talking about the contract with him. And for some reason, Jerry believed that they had a deal from that. So when Micah's agent spoke to Jerry, he was told that the deal was pretty much already done, which obviously is not the case at all. And there has been no contact to Micah at all. So what I get from this is usually these superstars, when they do request a trade like this, they always figure it out. But I don't think they're gonna figure this out. I think that Micah is gone, and I think we're gonna see something similar to when Von Miller requested a trade and he finally got traded as well. I just think there's no way he's staying in Dallas. This is just the bridges are burned. I think. I mean, I think it's crazy that Jerry Jones is telling his agent that it's a pretty much done deal whenever, like, he didn't even talk to the guy at all. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what goes with this situation, but I don't think he comes back to Dallas.
No, not at all. And I think the crazy part is, and I don't have the exact details, but I remember seeing a report that apparently isn't the first time that Jerry Jones has done something like
Oh
this,
my gosh.
to where he's gone behind an agent's back to try and get a deal done. And then just the fact that you're no longer willing to even negotiate. And it's not like this is some like middle of the pack edge rusher, where you can play these games. This is Micah Parsons,
Yes.
one of arguably a top 3 edge rusher in the league at this point, and he's only 26 years old.
Yeah, he's still so young. I mean, Jerry just completely messed this one up.
Yeah, and I saw when Micah first put those tweets out, kind of saying thank you Dallas, this is what happened. A bunch of the Cowboys players were changing their social media photos to pictures of Micah Parsons,
Yep.
and they were speaking out against it. So I think that not only if Micah gets traded, I think that there's going to be some even more dominoes falling from this happening in that Cowboys organization with other players.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you, which it's super unfortunate that this is going on for Dallas. I mean, this easily could have been avoidable, but it is happening because I was very big on Dallas going into this offseason. And them getting Pickens, I think that offense is just going to be complete. Yes, they do not have a good running back yet. I mean, you got Javonte there.
Yes.
You got Miles Sanders there. We're hearing a lot about Blue now in camp. So hopefully he can emerge as their RB1. But I really do believe that this offense is going to be good. And their defense took a major step down last year. Now imagine that with no Micah Parsons. It's just...
Yes.
I mean, I really just don't see what they're doing here, man. Like, they finally help out the offense, but now they're completely ruining the defense. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Not at all. And a guy that I feel really bad for here in this situation is honestly CD Lamb, because he went through this situation last year. Not the exact same situation with the details on the agents, but in terms of the long, drawn-out contract talks with Jerry Jones in Dallas, and then as soon as he gets his deal done to stay, now Micah Parsons is going to leave, and it's like he just locked in this long-term deal. And in my opinion, CD is one of the best receivers in the league.
Yep.
And now he's going to be almost stranded in Dallas if they get rid of Micah.
Yeah, I mean, that whole... It's a mess in Dallas, man. I mean, like... I want to say it's always been a mess because what have they done the past decade? But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out this year.
Yeah, and speaking of pay, someone who just got suspended without pay, Jordan Addison,
Yep.
Vikings wide receiver, will be suspended without pay for the 3 first games of the season. He is set to miss Chicago on the road, Atlanta at home, and then Cincinnati on the road. 3 very crucial games for the Vikings, especially at the start of the season.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's going to be a big loss for them. I mean, you got rookie J.J. McCarthy there. Jordan Addison's probably happy that he's not playing Week 1 Chicago because he probably would have gotten clamped up by that defense anyway. But, I mean, here we are. He's not going to be here. I think they're going to be okay. I mean, obviously, you got some 3 tough matchups there, but I don't think we're going to see what we saw from like how Sam Darnold played last year immediately with JJ. Technically, this isn't his rookie year, but this will be his first year playing regular season games in the NFL. So technically, I mean, it could be his rookie year. I think it's going to hurt him just a little bit, but I really do think they'll be able to. I mean, you got Justin Jefferson. When you have Justin Jefferson, it doesn't matter who your wide receiver 2 is. Let's just be honest. I mean, he's, I think, one of obviously a top 2 receiver in the game right now. So we can bump up his targets from probably about what he would have gotten with Addison there, probably about 10 a week, to maybe we might see 45 targets each game to this guy because he is just going to get spammed the ball until Addison comes back.
And, I honestly see in this 3-game stretch, I see Minnesota going maybe 1-2 without Addison. But at the same time, I think we are going to see a bit of a switch up from the Vikings. I think when you look at the fact you still have Aaron Jones, and then you brought in Jordan Mason.
He's a dog.
Which, from what I'm hearing, is it seems like it's going to be a 2-headed monster at running back. This seems like they're going to be splitting quite a lot of carries. And when you have an essentially rookie quarterback in J.J. McCarthy, I do think they're going to be running the ball a lot to start this season. Once you get Addison back, maybe you switch it up, add in the pass more.
Yep.
But I think they're going to try and not so much feed Justin Jefferson strictly, because the worst thing that can happen to a young quarterback is you get your confidence shot. And teams are going to know you're going to Justin Jefferson. You have no Jordan Addison. We know who you're throwing that football to. And if he's just forcing it, that's going to lead to turnovers. So I think they're going to lean a little more on the run game to start the season.
Yeah, I mean, I was a big fan of Jordan Mason last year, and I really do think this is going to be a very good 1-2 punch with Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason here now. I mean, they revamped their O-line, so like you can clearly see, one, they want to keep their quarterback healthy, obviously, but they do want to run the ball a little bit more. And I really do think that it is going to work out for them. And like you said, I could definitely see him going 1-2 to start the year. I mean, it's just like you got Chicago week 1. I think that's going to be tough.
On the road.
Exactly.
On the road.
For his first regular season game in the NFL. Without a wide receiver.
I think they might grab it versus Atlanta.
I also think that as well. I think if they are to win one of those 3 games, it's that one.
And that's still going to be a super tough game.
Exactly.
Man, and it's just going to be a tough start for them. But, speaking of tough starts, man, Shedeur Sanders.
QB4.
He's actually expected to start. Yeah, QB4 on the unofficial Browns depth chart, but he's expected to start the preseason opener against Carolina. So what is going on over there in Cleveland with this quarterback situation? Because now we have also signed Tyler Snoop Huntley. We've got 5, almost basically 6 quarterbacks, if you count Deshaun Watson, in that quarterback room. What are we doing?
Dude, I mean, like, where do we start with this? I mean, I think Shedeur should have been the only rookie quarterback they could have drafted this year, honestly. I don't think Dylan Gabriel is going to be anything special. I mean, right now we see Joe Flacco's the starter. So I want to ask you first, how many games do you think we see Joe Flacco starting this year?
So I haven't seen their, I haven't looked game by game at their schedule to
Yes.
see how tough of a stretch they have to start the season. But I could see Joe Flacco riding out the year, if I'm being honest, because I do think Joe Flacco's still a good quarterback. Now, I don't think they should do that because the team's not there. The team's not there to compete for a playoff. So give Shedeur Sanders the shot. I think Kenny Pickett's had multiple chances. His time's over.
Yep.
He could be a backup. I think Tyler Snoop Huntley, I don't know why you signed him in the first place.
Makes no sense.
put him to the back of the line. And then I think Dylan Gabriel was a good college quarterback.
Yeah.
But he's just not going to be a good NFL quarterback. He's a little small. He just doesn't have the true accuracy there. He's been pretty inaccurate in training camp so far. He's thrown quite a few interceptions, whereas Shedeur has been almost perfect in training camp so far. And to me, Shedeur, out of the quarterbacks in the draft, I think Shedeur had one of the higher floors.
Yep.
I don't think he had as high of a ceiling as everybody else, but I think his floor, because his accuracy is there, so his floor is pretty good. I think if it wasn't for the fact that his last name was Sanders, he would be a backup for the next 15 years in the NFL.
Yeah.
But when you have that last name, you're not going to be a backup for that long. You can't. Some guys just can't be backups, and it's not their fault. It's just the situations around them.
I 100% agree with you. I think, to echo what you said, I do believe that this is how I feel about their quarterback room. Basically, if they want to win, you throw Flacco out there. I mean, I think he's by far the best quarterback that can lead you to wins with the roster you have. And let's talk about some of that roster real quick. So, I mean, you got Jerry Jeudy, and David Njoku there. And you also got Quinshon Judkins, which, we still need to see what's going on with him, but he has a very safe backup in Jerome Ford. I really do believe that this team has a good roster. From offensively and defensively, I mean, when you have Myles Garrett, that'll really, really help. And it's just, I really do think it's a case of, what do the Browns want more? Do they want to just try to compete to win? Because if they do, I think you put Flacco out there all year. But also, you drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks. You need to see what you got from them. So I think it will just be a matter of time before they do test one of those, if not both of them out.
Yeah, and then you look at guys that they also brought in with Mason Graham. And then one guy you didn't mention, Dylan Sampson. Running back out of Tennessee. So not only did they bring in Judkins, they also brought in Sampson. So 2 pretty good running backs, because this was, I think we mentioned it last week as well, this was a loaded running back class. So Dylan Sampson, even though he was a 4th-round running back, he was probably rated a talent higher than that. So I think replacing, you lose Nick Chubb, and you still have, like you said, Jerome Ford, and now you've got 2 pretty good rookie running backs. They're once again going to lean on that running game. And like you said, if we want to win, we stick with Flacco. He's proven he can win with this Browns team. He did it 2 years ago. So, but it's just, it doesn't make sense for the long term. But at the same time, remember who we're talking about. We're talking about the Cleveland Browns. So what makes sense is probably not what they're going to do.
No, I mean, you said that spot on. But I really do hope that that Shedeur could really show what he has in this preseason game. Because I'll be honest, man, I don't think he's QB4 on that roster. With those quarterbacks that they have, I don't think he's QB4 at all. And I really don't know why they are pinning him down this low, because from what I've seen, he has been better than Gabriel in camp.
Exactly. And in my opinion, at worst, he's QB2 on this team. He's, like I said, he's better than Dylan Gabriel, and he's proven that in camp. I think he's better than Kenny Pickett. Yes, Pickett has the NFL experience, but he's shown us what he could do and what his ceiling is in the NFL, and we've seen that. It's not good at all.
So really not.
Put him to QB3, keep him there. That's fine. But Shedeur should be QB2, if not QB1. I just feel like this guy has not been given a chance by this organization. I don't remember which way it is, but either the owner wanted him and the GM didn't, or vice versa.
Yep.
And he's just been put in an unfair situation. So to me, he's going to ball out against Carolina in this preseason game.
Yeah.
And when he does, he better be respected on the depth chart. And if not, trade him.
Yeah.
Let him go somewhere else where he's going to be given the chance to shine.
Dude, I agree with you spot on. And I'm happy you brought up, because I do remember, I couldn't remember who said that about him. I couldn't remember which way it went. But who says that to their young quarterback? Why do you say that to the public?
Exactly.
Like, it makes, like, you're just killing the kid's confidence. Like, you saying one of us didn't want him there. It's like, come on, man. I think that was just, I'm just, owners this year just getting me mad in general, because they're just no idea what they're doing.
And honestly, I don't think you can kill Shedeur Sanders' confidence.
Yes.
But that's, like you said, it's just not a thing that you do, man.
You don't want to hear that if you're a rookie quarterback.
But I am excited to see him play against Carolina. I'm excited to see so many rookies play in these upcoming preseason games at a time where I'm usually not that excited for preseason, but for some reason this year, there's something in the air, man.
Dude, it's football.
I'm excited
and we're
to watch
here.
preseason
We're here.
football.
This week we're here, actually. And I cannot
Yes.
I cannot wait for that.
I know, man. But speaking of things like that with football, Kyron Williams,
Yep.
Rams 3-year, $33 million extension with 23 guaranteed per Adam Schefter. I think Kyron Williams, not only did he deserve a payday, but he was underpaid here. $10 million a year for the production that he has put up, the reliability and consistency that he has been at the running back position for the Rams. I think that he is probably should be on more the 13 mil a season average range, if not more.
Dude, I agree with you. I saw this contract, and the first thing I thought, I was like, wow, that is really good. Like, that the Rams really got themselves to deal with that, because you look at this guy's stats. He's been the starter for 2 years now. Last year, just under 1,300 yards with 14 rushing touchdowns. The year before that, just under 1,200 yards with 12 rushing touchdowns. Like, this guy is just, and I don't even know if that
He's been reliable.
I don't even know if that includes receiving. So, like, dude, this guy, he's a beast, man. He really is. And, like, I was very, very happy that he did get paid this. One, I'm happy because he's from Notre Dame. So, good for him for getting a bag. And then secondly, I'm going to talk fantasy real quick. Dynasty purposes. Because I had this guy in a dynasty league. And I'll be honest, I was a little worried because they had Corum, which everybody was saying last year, oh, he's taking the job. Did not happen. But now you got Hunter back there too. And he's been having a very good camp. And I was a little worried because we know Sean McVay likes to pull the plug on running backs very quick if they're not doing what he thinks they should be doing in this offense. So from getting locked up for the next 3 years, I mean, that's what you want to see as a Kyron Williams dynasty owner, man. It's just now you got that safety. You know he won't be going anywhere, and he still scores all these touchdowns every single year, man.
Yeah, man. And like you said, Notre Dame, man, it's something about those Notre Dame running backs that just they keep producing great running backs. But Kyron Williams, I was one of the few who I didn't have a worry when they drafted Blake Corum. I knew Kyron Williams was better than Blake Corum and was going to beat out Blake Corum. I did think he was going to eat into his carries more than he did, though, because I feel like Blake Corum was barely used. And they do rely on Kyron Williams a lot, so I love this extension for them.
Yeah, I'll be honest,
I'm a big fan of this.
I really did think Corum was going to have a bigger part than what he ended up having last year. I didn't think it was going to be a whole takeover, but I thought it'd at least be like a split at least. But, dude, Kyron's the guy there, man. And, I mean, he got this bag, and he deserves it because he really does show up for this team every single year he's been here so far.
Yeah, and you know who's not the guy?
Nope.
Raiders corner Jacorian Bennett, because he just got traded to Philadelphia for D tackle Thomas Booker IV. And I don't know much about either of these guys, I will be honest, but from what I have been seeing, the Eagles got a steal here in Jacorian Bennett, and he has been a dog secretly. He's underrated. He's only 24 for the Raiders.
Dude, let me fill you in. So this guy, I don't know how the Eagles do it, because they're already one of the best defenses in the league. They just got an absolute...
That's what Howie does, man.
Dude, Howie, man. Oh, my God. This dude is an absolute dog. So, his ranks among cornerbacks with 450-plus snaps. Last year, 0 touchdowns allowed. That's first. 176 yards allowed. That's second. And 18 receptions allowed. That's third. I mean, dude, this guy is a dog, and the Eagles just got him for a player that I did not know who that was. Like,
exactly.
I don't know how
I just don't know how. He blows my mind every time I see trade and Eagles in the same sentence. I'm ready for my mind to be blown at how they pulled it off yet again, because he seems to do it every time. You think these owners, when they see that phone call with that Philadelphia area code, they would just hang up the phone, because if he's calling you for a trade, you are losing this trade.
They need to start taxing the Eagles a little more, because literally
Honestly.
whoever they get, it just turns out to be a dog, and it's just unfair to the rest of the league at this point.
I don't know exactly when Howie took over, but he has just been a phenomenal owner. And in my opinion, probably the best owner or GM in the
Yeah.
league for the Eagles, because not only have they made multiple Super Bowls recently, they're in the playoffs almost every year. They've gone through two quarterbacks seamlessly. Because remember, Carson Wentz, when he was there,
Yep.
he was the guy before that ACL injury. And then to just gamble and just move with Hurts right away, and it was the correct decision. He knows what he's doing when it comes to football.
Dude, I mean, and this guy, like, he really just knows how to just like, how can I say this? A couple years back, I remember I'm assuming stats wise, this would add up too, but I remember, like, that was the defense you did not want to go against in fantasy. Like, if your players were going against the Eagles, that's it. You do not, like, they're probably not going to do great at all. And then I feel like 2 years ago, their defense wasn't.
They were one of the worst.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now last year, now they're one of the best.
They're back again.
Dude, it's just like,
and
he killed the draft too. I mean, drafting
every year.
Drafting Cooper
outside of Jalen Rager.
Okay, yeah, dude, that guy was awesome. But last year you draft Cooper in what was that? Quinyon, right? Quinyon Mitchell.
Mitchell, yeah.
Dude, I mean, there's their DBs for the next 10 years. Like, just like
10 years, and they were both named in the top 100, so they're respected by their peers. Then you bring in this guy Bennett. You still have Keely Ringo there. I mean, that secondary is great, man.
Jalen Carter's also there.
The pass rush is great.
like, dude, they're stacked.
You've got Nolan Smith there. I mean, it's just the Georgia Eagles are ridiculous.
Dude, no, seriously, man. I really do believe that on paper, I think they're by far the best roster in the NFL.
And then quickly before we get to the next segment, one thing that I did want to bring up is, what is your opinion on Jalen Hurts? How do we feel about him? Do you think he's a top 5 quarterback, a top 10 quarterback? Where would you have him ranked?
Oh, don't put me on the spot like that. Let me see. Let me look up, just so I don't forget anybody.
To me, Jalen Hurts he's probably borderline top 5. I don't think he's quite top 5. I would probably give Stafford the 5th spot.
Ooh.
But I think he's right there.
Dang, dude,
and
that's
I really
spicy.
I really think people underrate, and especially as of late, unnecessarily have been slandering Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially with the Cam Newton debate. And regardless of how you feel about the Cam Newton debate, it has caused the perception of Jalen Hurts to go from up here all the way down. And now it's making it seem like he's a disposable quarterback, which he is not. Because to me, what makes a player truly elite is when you take a great player and you put him in a clutch moment or a big time moment, and he steps up to make those plays. He becomes even greater. And that's what Jalen Hurts is. Yeah. He's a big time player. He steps up when it matters most. We saw him outduel Mahomes in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Obviously, this year he didn't have to do as much in the Super Bowl because Saquon Barkley did Saquon Barkley things. But I just wanted to touch on this quickly because I feel like I've been seeing a lot of Jalen Hurts disrespect go around.
Dude, I agree. And I think, I'll give you a live ranking here. I think not in order. Not in order. Who do I think's better than him? Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. I would have a very hard time putting anybody else here other than Hurts, to be honest.
All right, so you got him at 5.
I think it'd be at 5 or right at 6, to be honest.
That's how I feel. At 5, at 6, the only guy I feel comfortable putting above him is Matthew Stafford because of the longevity. I see people putting Jaden Daniels above him.
Not yet.
I don't think Jaden Daniels has earned that after one season.
No, not at all. Not yet. He's not, we need to see. I mean, I want to say just a couple years of what he did this year, but honestly, if he repeats what he did last year, man, it's like, dude.
He's going to be right there.
Exactly. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, like I said, I just wanted to touch on that quickly before we got into our next and final segment for this episode, which is our award predictions for the upcoming season. So we are going to go through the MVP, OPOY, DPOY, the Rookie of the Year for offense and defense, the Comeback Player of the Year, and then the Head Coach of the Year. So I say let's start off with the top of the chain, MVP. I'll go first. My pick for MVP this year is Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty. I think arguably last season, Joe Burrow was the MVP if it weren't for the fact that he was on the Cincinnati Bengals and that team didn't make the playoffs. Last year, he was first in passing yards with 4,918. He threw for 43 touchdowns, which was also first in the NFL, and he only had 9 picks. I mean, that's a 4-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. And then you look at what they did in the offseason with the offense this year. They loaded up even more. They brought in Mike Gesicki, Noah Fant to booster up that tight end position. You still got Chase Brown in the backfield. And then you lock down Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So securing them alongside, obviously, Burrow has already been extended. But that offense is going to be even better than it was. They're probably putting up 40 points a game this season.
And guess what? Their defense still sucks.
I know. See, that's the one thing that I have written down. But if you look at their defense, they brought in Al Golden, who was the defensive coordinator at Notre Dame, who consistently had Notre Dame as a top 5 defense in the country. So I think that when you look at the team, Shamar Stewart, they finally got that situation under control. I do think we're trending towards Trey Hendrickson. As we mentioned last time, he's participating in camp, so I think we're trending towards getting him paid. So I think if anybody can make this defense at the bare minimum mediocre, that offense is going to lead them to a wild card berth, which in my turn is just enough to get Joe Burrow an MVP if he puts up anywhere close to what he did last season.
Yeah, man. I mean, I definitely could easily see that happening. As somebody that had Jamar Chase last year in fantasy, I loved watching Burrow last year because, oh my gosh, will that guy just look for Jamar every time.
Yes.
And it was so nice to have. And I really do think that if they do want to win these games, they are going to, like you said, having to do like 40 points a game. And that just leads to lots of touchdowns, lots of passing yards for Burrow. So I do believe that is a great pick. And we'll get into my MVP pick is Patrick Mahomes. He is plus 650 betting odds too, if you're interested in that. And despite a down year last year, I mean, he still led the Chiefs to a 15-2 record and another AFC West title. He fell short in February, obviously, but I mean, Mahomes was, if you looked at his stats compared to Rodgers this year, they were really, really similar. I mean, he finished with just under 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 11 picks. That was the first time in his career where he failed to reach 4,000 yards as a starter. I mean, this pick for me is really just based on the fact that I believe that Mahomes is just going to turn it up this year. I mean, he sees all these narratives about him, all these ref narratives. I mean, he went down last year in the Super Bowl. I'm assuming, I mean, obviously do not know this, but I'm assuming this is Kelsey's last year because he's just been grinding this offseason. Yeah, I'm assuming it is. I'm assuming he's done. If he was debating it last year, I'm assuming he said he really, really, really picked up training in the offseason. And I just think that they're going to try one last run. And one last run just means Mahomes is just going to have to tear everybody up again. And I just really think he just goes crazy this year for that.
And like, man, if anyone could do it, it's Patrick Mahomes. And I know we talk all the time about the Mahomes glazing from people like Chris Collinsworth, but he truly deserves it. He's earned it. What he's done in his career so far is, you don't hear of things like that. So I fully understand your pick for Patrick Mahomes winning MVP, and I wouldn't be shocked at all if it happened. But to get into next, we have the Offensive Player of the Year. My pick for OPOY is Jahmyr Gibbs, Detroit Lions. I think when you look at this team and you look what they lost this year with Ben Johnson going over to Chicago to be the head coach, it's going to take a toll on Jared Goff. Now, I'm a bit higher on Jared Goff than most people. I don't think he's going to be horrible this year. I don't think he's going to take a huge step back, but I think he is going to take a big step back, at least somewhat of a step back, because Ben Johnson is such a mastermind when it comes to offensive play calling. So I think they're going to have to lean more on the run game this year. And while David Montgomery is a great number 2 back, they did split the carries quite a bit. I think we are going to see this year, we're going to be leaning more on Jahmyr Gibbs. And I think when you look at the back half of the season last year for the Detroit Lions into the playoffs, they were really leaning on Jahmyr Gibbs, and it was paying off. He was tearing it up, man, doing some amazing things there.
He's just a dog, bro. Like, the things that he did to end the year last year, dude, I traded this guy in fantasy before that run. Gosh, man, I wish I didn't.
You
Cause
traded him in fantasy. Was this a
yes,
dynasty league?
no dynasty redraft.
Oh,
He
okay,
was my
I was gonna
RB
say in
two.
a dynasty
He was
league.
my RB. I had Saquon as my RB1. So I mean, it was pretty
Okay.
nice having those.
That's
both
okay.
of
It's
those
a fair.
guys.
It's a fair trade.
Exactly.
But
But
if this was a dynasty league, we would have had to test you for what you were smoking there.
I would have had you stop this, come over to my house, and punch me straight in the face if I traded that man in a dynasty league. Because I'll be honest, everything you just said literally took the words out of my mouth. I don't think this team is going to have that much of a downgrade this year with losing both of their coordinators. I mean, it's just at the end of the day, the talent is talent. Like, they are still there. Yes, two coordinators left, but nothing should change with those guys and how good they are at football. And I really do think, like I said, man, you really just stole all the words out of my mouth. Because I was going to say, I really do think that they do lean on Gibbs more this year. And I think he's a great, great selection for this award. Because
And I do think that, yeah, so I think, how you mentioned losing both coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
I do think, like I said, they're going to take a step back, but I don't think it's going to be drastic because the big thing when you look at, obviously Ben Johnson was an offensive genius, but if you just take what he left behind, you can build off of that, and culture is what truly changed that team around in Detroit.
Yeah.
And what Dan Campbell has infused into this team with that grit, that Detroit style of play. And so I don't think they're going to take that big of a step back.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. And from there, we'll get into my offensive player of the year. And I really do think it will be Bijan Robinson this year. And his betting odds plus 1,600. So they're pretty juicy, too. If you also,
Ooh.
yeah, they're if you believe that, they're pretty juicy.
1,600.
Hey, dude, yeah. He is very, very low in these Actually, I don't think he was crazy low. I just think there was a good amount of people in front of him that could still win it, obviously. But so let's talk about Bijan. He posted just under 1,500 rushing yards last year, and he had 14 rushing touchdowns to do that. And he is not a one-dimensional player. He can catch the ball. He had it on 431 receiving yards and a receiving touchdown just last year. Finished third in the NFL in rushing yards and fifth in rushing touchdowns. This is just his second year, man. I mean, he's a dog, bro. He's so good at football, and I hate that Arthur Smith just did not let us see all of this his first year. It was just a lot of Algier there. But, I mean, they learned from their mistakes because last season he had an elite 74% snap share in 2024. That ranked second among all running backs for that. It's just, Bijan's just his high, oh my God, I said Bijan. I did it. Bijan, his high output, just efficiency, and just being their focal point in this offense, that should be more than enough for him to win this award, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he wins. If at the very least, one of the finalists for the award. And you mentioned his snap share. I wouldn't be shocked to see that go up more this year because when you think about it, Michael Penix is still technically a rookie quarterback, right? Because he hasn't had a full season yet. So I'm sure he's going to lean on Bijan Robinson even more there. And apparently his golfing buddy Kyle Pitts too, but I think mainly going to lean on Bijan Robinson.
Real quick, I need to talk about the name change because I thought something was funny. I saw that. What was it? I saw that even his friends didn't know it was Bijan Robinson because Saquon was asked about who are some of the best running backs in the NFL. Even he said Bijan. So I think this is a big
I mean, why did it take him so long to let us know?
So long, man. It's just basically, man, Bijan, go win that award because I think I'm going to put a little money on you, man. So please, plus 1,600 odds, that would be beautiful.
I mean, for those odds, how can you argue with it? But for Defensive Player of the Year, speaking of high odds, I am taking at plus 1,500, Jared Verse. I think he is a very, very sneaky pick to win this award. I think when you look at his stats, he didn't have the craziest stats last year, but if you were to actually watch the games, he was such a monster for the Rams on that defensive line. And it was so noticeable in the second half of the season, specifically the playoffs, especially against the Eagles there. He was causing havoc against the Eagles, and the Rams were the only team that was truly close to upsetting the Eagles in that playoffs. And I think it was led by Jared Verse and that defensive line.
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, those Rams, they were getting hot right at the best time last year. I really did think they were going to have a good run. But Verse here, man, dude, it's just great pick. And honestly, I thought his odds would have been a little lower too. I'll be honest with you. Plus 1,500 is great for that.
Yeah, I honestly thought that plus 1,500. I was a little shocked because when you look at the stat wise last season, he didn't do as much, which it feels like to win Defensive Player of the Year, you need to have those, eye popping 20 plus sack seasons. So I was a bit shocked at plus 1,500. I thought it would have been closer to the plus 2,000 to 2,500 range.
Yeah, man. If you want to talk about some eye popping numbers, listen to this guy that I have as my Defensive Player of the Year. TJ Watt, plus 1,000. He's a dog. We know that. Don't gotta really say that. So how does this guy only have one of these awards throughout his career? Because I honestly don't get it. In 2024, he logged 11.5 sacks, 61 combined tackles, 19 tackles for a loss, and a league-leading 6 forced fumbles, while ranking among the top 6 in sacks, tackles for losses, quarterback hits, strip sacks, and fumble recoveries. You just hear how many different things I just said that he was top 6 in? Dude, the Steelers, man, this year, they are going all in. And if they want to go all in right now, I mean, TJ Watt is just going to have somehow a better and a more spectacular year than last year.
Yeah, and didn't TJ Watt just get paid?
Oh, he got paid.
I'm not mistaken,
yes.
Right?
Yeah, I can't. I think it was. I don't want.
Yep, it was 3 years, 123 million. Yep. So they truly are, like you said, going all in. And I think a guy like TJ Watt, the only thing, in my opinion, that holds him back from winning the Defensive Player of the Year is voter fatigue.
Exactly.
I think because his name is there at the top every single year, that you look at guys like a Jared Verse or like a Micah Parsons or an Aiden Hutchinson, Will Anderson, and those names are just like, ooh, it's more eye candy there because it's not a name we've seen win the award.
Yeah, I really do think voter fatigue is a great way to put it because, I mean, you talk about this award, you're talking with TJ Watt every single year. And I believe I don't want to say for sure, but I'm pretty certain that I read that one of Aaron Donald's years that he won, he even thought that TJ was going to win it. So and that's coming from Aaron Donald. I mean, how much? Yeah, dude,
Aaron Donald, man.
Just all the praise you can get, and I don't know, man. I really do think that TJ Watt. I think it's insane. He only has one of these awards. I'll be very honest.
Dude, agreed. And I don't think, I don't know off the top of my head, so I could be wrong, but I feel like JJ didn't get a ton of those awards either, did he?
I think I know there was a year he won back-to-back. He might have had a third. I hated that guy because he was killing my Colts every
He did
year.
have 3, so I was wrong there, but man,
I mean,
think
still,
TJ does deserve to get another
exactly. one. I mean, JJ was just as great, but TJ is very, very great too. So I'm just so shocked this far into his
Mama
career.
Watt produced some great players there,
dude. Some dogs as kids, man. JJ Watt and TJ Watt, and they're just tearing up the NFL. Both of their playing times, man. It's crazy. It really is.
Oh man, poor Derek Watt.
Yeah.
Why do you have to play fullback?
Yeah, seriously, man. You can choose the one position that the NFL does not care about.
Not care about at all. So next up we have the Offensive Rookie of the Year, and I feel like this one is pretty unanimous. I mean, he has plus 250 odds for a reason. It's Ashton Jeanty. There's no point in betting on this man. I mean, I guess plus 250. It's free double money, but is it really? I mean, a question. I guess you could throw Cam Ward in there,
Yeah.
But to me, it's Ashton Genty. It's self-explanatory. He was phenomenal in college for Boise State and the Broncos, carrying them to the college football playoffs. And now he's going into an offense with Pete Carroll as the head coach. So I'm expecting a run-heavy team.
Dude, so my notes for Ashton Genty, my first sentence is, this will be short and sweet because you really don't need that much talking. I mean, I'll go over what he had last year. So in 2024, he rushed for just over 2,600 yards, 29 touchdowns, and that was on 374 carries. That trails only Barry Sanders for the most rushing yards in a single NCAA season. And just over his Boise State career, I mean, totaled just under 4,800 rushing yards, 50 rushing touchdowns, and he forced an NCAA leading 156 missed tackles, along with just under 2,000 yards after contact. And that was a mark that led the country. I mean, like I said, bro, we just go to defensive player. This guy, I mean, he really should just.
I do really have to say, I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Uh-huh.
And the only way that I see Ashton Genty not winning this award is you look at the thing that you see throughout his college career, which, and I think is going to lead in the NFL, is the amount of carries, the mileage for him as a running back. It's already very high coming into his rookie year. And I don't think he's had an injury history. So obviously we don't want to wish injury on any player. I would never do that. But I think it's to play devil's advocate, that's the only way I see him not winning this award, is if he were, God forbid, pick up an injury there.
And honestly, I think that's something great to point out, because I'll be very honest, it will not shock me if you tell me that he led the league in touches his rookie season. There is nobody behind, or at least nobody that off the top of my head I can think of that is behind him to take carries from him. And we know Pete Carroll likes to run the ball, other than in the Super Bowl on like the 2-yard line. But other than that, I mean, Genty is just going to see just so many carries this year, man. And if I did have to play, I mean, I don't even want to play devil's advocate, because I don't believe Ward could win it, man. It's just I think Genty is set up in the perfect situation, and he can just easily just destroy the league in his rookie year.
100%. But, to get into Defensive Rookie of the Year, I was just scouring the internet here trying to find odds for this guy, and I didn't expect him to be this high at plus 3,000 odds.
Wait,
I'm going with Will Johnson, cornerback for the Cardinals.
3,000?
Plus 3,000. And I think he's been killing it in camp so far from what I've seen for the Cardinals. He's been strapping down guys like Marvin Harrison Jr. And the whole thing coming out of college for him was that injury, and it clearly is not affecting him whatsoever so far. I will be honest, I was leaning towards Abdul Carter here.
Yep.
But I wanted to go, I felt like after a pick like Ashton Genty, I wanted to go a bit out there with this one. So
no,
I'm taking Will Johnson. I think the award has been a bit dominated by defensive backs as of late. So I kind of wanted to build off of that. And I think why not take a chance on a guy like Will Johnson, who we know the talent is there, and that talent-wise he was a top 10 pick in the NFL draft, but clearly with the injury problems, he fell into the second round where the Cardinals got an absolute steal on a team that needed cornerback help.
Dude, they needed literally all the deep. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I could be wrong. Well, maybe somebody will have to fact check me on this. But I really think they only spent, Arizona I'm talking, one pick on offense, and the rest was on defense. Because they know they got a problem there.
And that's how they had to do it.
Dude, yes. And I'm just so shocked that I wanted Will Johnson on the Colts, man. Like, I was so like, we needed DB, we needed a corner. But I definitely see why he fell out of the first round, because like you worded it perfectly. Talent-wise, he's a top 10 player in that class. And I really do think he's just going to be a massive get for the Cardinals. And I know you said your pick was out there. Once again, I'm taking the chalk pick, because Abdul Carter is just so good at football, man. I mean, just last year, he posted 12 sacks, led the nation with 23.5 tackles for loss, while maintaining an elite 18.5 pressure rate among edge defenders, man. I mean, it's just, if you see what this guy is doing in camp as well, you can just tell he's going to dominate. There's just plays where I've seen where you can blink and he is already in Russ's face, man. It's just, he's going to be so good. And this Giants defense is going to be good, I believe. And they've done a really good job just rebuilding this defense. And I think Abdul is just the cherry on top.
I really think that they're arguably going to be a top 5 defense this coming season. When you look at the guys they have, they got Sexy Dexy back there, Brian Burns, and now Abdul Carter. You still got Kayvon Thibodeau. That pass rush is going to give quarterbacks nightmares for weeks this entire season. And it's why I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants, surprise a lot of people with their record this season.
Dude, I also agree. And I think they got some going. I mean, I don't know what they're trying to do at quarterback here. I think we might see a couple, maybe 3 different guys this season. We'll see how it goes out, but I really do.
I do hope we see Jackson Dart at some point.
See, what did I? Oh man, I want to see. I want to say that I read today. I think their depth chart had him at QB3 behind
QB3,
Jameis.
Yeah. Which I get for now. Jameis was clearly brought in to be the backup of this team, and
he's a veteran too.
I have no problem with Jameis. He's a vet. He's done it. He's been around the league. I have no problem with him being the backup. Jackson Dart being QB3 doesn't truly mean, in my opinion, he is QB3. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to word that without it sounding weird. But I think that if it comes to it, and say Russ goes down, maybe that game, Jameis steps in. But then the next week, I would expect someone like Jackson Dart to start. But I do think Russ is going to be the starter for most of this season, because I think Russ is good enough to get them to where they need to go. And when you have a guy like Malik Neighbors, you're going to be sending moonshots. And who throws a better moon ball in the league right now than Russell Wilson?
We've seen it in training camp too.
As he's gotten old, even though he's getting older, that moon ball hasn't faded at all. We saw it last year with George Pickens, and we're going to see it this year with Malik Neighbors.
Dude, those clips coming out of these camps of just Russ just airing one out to Neighbors, man. Oh my gosh. That's going to be so beautiful to watch. And I really, really hope that Russ stays the starter for a good amount, because I really do think him and Neighbors are going to connect a lot on those.
Yes, agreed. And then we do lead into the comeback player of the year here. And at plus 450 odds, I'm going with Trevor Lawrence. Now, I've never been a huge fan of Trevor Lawrence, and I'd be the first to admit this. I'm not going to hide it. I've usually been a bit of a hater when it comes to this guy. As a Notre Dame fan, I never really liked Clemson, so I was never a big fan of Trevor Lawrence. I do think he was a bit of an overhyped prospect, but I don't think that he was so overhyped to where he wasn't good. I do think that Trevor Lawrence is one of those guys who is a product of his environment so much that when he is on great teams, he becomes elite. But when he's on bad teams, he's just okay, if that makes sense. So I think with this year, with what they've done with Jacksonville, with what they've done with Brian Thomas Jr., which was an amazing pick, because that guy is a stud.
So good.
And then you bring in Travis Hunter, who's now a wide receiver 2, listed on their depth chart. T-Law is going to be throwing dimes this season, and I think he's got that award locked up.
Dude, I mean, I'm a Colts fan, so I really don't like that you're saying all that, but I do want to say that I feel like we have been very, 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 I wouldn't say disappointed, but we just really expected more from Trevor Lawrence this far into his NFL career. And I do want to say, I think Travis Hunter being there. So what side do you fall on Hunter? Do you think he's a better DB or a receiver?
I do think he is a better DB. I think he's a great receiver, but I think he's an even greater defensive back. But I don't blame the Jaguars, because I think they really need the help in the wide receiver room.
Yes.
I hope they don't try and play him as much on both sides of the ball. I'm sure they're going to play him on both sides, because that's what he wants to do, and he made that very, very clear even before he got drafted and after he got drafted that he is a wide receiver and a corner. So I hope they don't play him too much, because it's just such a huge physicality jump from college to the NFL. And one thing as well, not only was it a huge jump from college to the NFL, but he played in the Big 12.
Yes.
And the Big 12 is nowhere near as physical. If he would have been doing this in the SEC, I could have been a little more warm to the idea of him playing both sides in the league, although still against it. But The Big 12 is nowhere near as physical as a conference like the SEC. So I think they're right to be cautious with playing him on both sides of the ball. And why not throw him on offense with Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr.?
Dude, I found, because I thought I saw something about where Liam Cohen did talk about his playing time. It's looking like that Liam Cohen, yeah, he said that he's going to be playing, that Hunter's going to be playing 80% of the offensive snaps while also contributing on defense.
I'm nervous for him, man. I really hope he doesn't pick up an injury this way, but if he wants to do it, you got to let him do it. He's made it clear.
I feel like he's just too good at each of those positions to not do it.
Yes.
That's where the side I'm at. Like, yeah, I can see if you do want him a full-time receiver, because like you did just say, they do need receivers. And he's right there, but it's just I really do think it's going to work out for him. Like you said already, really hope he doesn't pick up an injury playing both sides of the ball, because this isn't college anymore. He's in the NFL, man. These players are all...
We aren't in Kansas anymore.
Exactly. Like, these players are all... They're big boys, man. All of them. Literally every single player.
Yeah.
And he's not the biggest guy, so, hopefully he can stay healthy. And, wow, if we're talking about health, let me tell you about my comeback player of the year. So, I'm going with Christian McCaffrey. That is plus 330 odds. And I'm on the side where if CMC is playing, I really don't see how he's not one of the best players at the game or in the game. And at this point in training camp, he is healthy. And this shouldn't be a shocker. He's already making highlight plays. The thing with CMC is that he can win this award even if he does miss a couple games. He is that great as a player. You combine his talents with also having one of the easiest schedules of the year. Just give me all the Christian McCaffrey that I can get this year.
Yeah, and I could definitely see that one. Although I will say, when you look at the history of the Comeback Player of the Year award,
yep,
the past 7 Comeback Player of the Years have been at the quarterback position. And then when you look at the past, let's see, 11, 12... the past 18, only 4 of them have not been a quarterback.
Yeah, so the history is not for...
It's not on his
him
side
at all,
there.
But I just think it's just his talent. Like, we haven't really seen a player
Agreed.
like this. He really is just that dude when he is healthy. And it's just...
And he is such a focal point for Kyle Shanahan.
Exactly. And, this point in camp right now, Juwan Jennings is not practicing. Brandon Ayuk is not practicing. The only 3 guys
you got leaning on that man.
Exactly. Which could be good or could be very scary.
But it could be
bad. Exactly.
Yes.
The only guys they got there.
It's a slippery slope.
Exactly, man. It's just when you just have the main 2 superstars on that roster are going to be obviously George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey. Both of those guys are not the healthiest of guys. So even though...
And they're also getting up there.
Exactly. And even though that they do have one of the easiest schedules this year because they did finish last in their division last year, it really just comes down to health. It's just, that's all it is for him.
Yes. Yeah, man. And then I just want to lead into the Coach of the Year, which I'm going to keep a little bit shorter because it plays into my last one. I am taking at plus 1,200 odds Liam Cohen with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that this award, in my opinion, I'm shocked at the odds for Cohen at plus 1,200. I think that he should be higher than that. I think he should be closer to the plus 400 range. I feel like this award is almost gift wrapped to a guy like Liam Cohen, who is a true offensive mind. And then you look at the Jaguars, who have one of the easiest schedules in the league in a struggling division.
Sadly,
no offense,
I know you're not lying.
Of the AFC South. It's a struggling division. Like I mentioned last week, I think they're going to win that division. And they've made the right moves as of late. You look at Hunter, you look at Brian Thomas, and then you see all the reports coming out of camp with that running back room is that it's going to be a running back by committee.
Yep.
Tank Bigsby has impressed last year, and he's been impressing even more in camp. ETN's still ETN. It's just too much firepower on offense to not win that division, in my opinion, which if he wins the division, to me, he's the comeback or the coach of the year.
Yeah. No, I think that's very just perfectly said because I mean, you saw what he did with Tampa, and now that they're doing a running back committee, you saw what, like, Bucky and Rashad White were good players last year. Bucky was great last year. And
Bucky's phenomenal.
I mean, I think he's really going to figure out something with this committee because last year, not last year, I think I saw this year they're trying to have, what was it? Tank Bigsby as like the early down guy, and then bring in ETN in as the pass catcher. And I really think that Cohen's going to figure out something very, very nice with those two. And I think you were spot on about the odds. I'll be honest, I don't know how they're not lower because that dude is a genius, man.
Yeah.
And
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to go into mine, man. You can keep. We can keep talking about. This is probably the one time I'm going to talk nice about the Jaguars, so we can keep it going. Yeah.
So real quick, I do just want to add. So you mentioned with ETN being the third down back. I don't know if you remember, it was his rookie year when he first got drafted. They were lining him up in the slot as a wide receiver. So he is going to excel. For a guy with injury history, if you're able to limit him to only these third down plays, these pass catching scenarios, and you take a lot of that workload away, it's going to prevent the risk of an injury. And Travis Etienne is a great player. He's great in the open field. He's shifty. I don't think he's the best actual running back, like between the line.
Yeah.
But I think open field, he can make a play. He's creative. So I think when you're using him in these pass catching situations, that offense is going to be explosive.
Yeah, man, I agree. And I'm honestly, even though, like I said, I hope they don't take the step, but if they do, I would definitely be, it'd be fun to watch, man. I mean, you got just so many playmakers there, and it's just, if Cohen could bring this together, I think it could be very special. And I also think it can be very special if everything pans out for my Coach of the Year pick, which I am choosing Pete Carroll at plus 1,400 odds. Our last episode, I talked about how I do believe that the Las Vegas Raiders are a dark horse super team, and I think that has a big thing to do with Pete Carroll because the Raiders, they're desperately needing a culture change. They only have one winning season in the last 8 years, and just Carroll rebuilt USC and Seattle just into championship contenders. He brings the kind of leadership and cultural lift that they really, really need. And just media coverage just repeatedly just highlights his ability to change the culture and make teams competitive immediately. And he has the star talent to do it, and I expect to see the Raiders do what Pete Carroll usually does, and that's just winning football games.
And I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. I think Pete Carroll is a great coach. Again, I feel like we've talked about it. I don't know if we talked about it last time, but we used the word, I know that we use it a lot, is scapegoat. And I think Pete Carroll was a scapegoat over there in Seattle, and I think he's going to be exactly like you mentioned, what the Raiders needed, what Vegas needed to get them back on track to being a winning football organization. Yep. And I think that a guy like that, when you have the firepower and offense of a Genty and a Bowers, you have Mad Max on the defensive side, I still kind of believe in Tyree Wilson. Yep. So I think he's going to, like you said, lead them to good things, and I wouldn't be shocked if he won the Coach of the Year.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a very, very interesting season for the Raiders. And before you start wrapping it up here, I got a little bit of an update about this Micah Parsons situation. So let me tell you, it hasn't gone better. Oh, wait till you hear this Jerry Jones quote. So somebody asked, they asked if he's confident that Micah Parsons will play in the opener. He said, and I quote, "No, absolutely not. A big part of it is his decision. How would I know that? No, but I'm urgent." He's gone, bro.
He just continues to blow my mind every time I hear this old man open his mouth.
Dude,
what is going through his head?
I really think he's
nothing,
just,
that's what it is.
Literally nothing. But I really think he's just trying to ego one of his guys, and the guy he's trying to ego is the most important player on that team, arguably behind either him or CD. Yeah, but I think it's Micah. But I mean, like,
dude,
what is he doing?
I feel like we brought this up again, and I don't think we tackled it earlier in the podcast. Real quick to wrap us up here, let's talk about some teams on the spot that we could see trading for Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I said it last week. Chicago Bears, go make the trade. We have the capital. We have the need for him. I could definitely see us making the trade. They don't need him, but he's from there. He's from Philadelphia. I could see the Eagles giving a call to Jerry.
Hey, do not, dude. We were just talking about how the Eagles, they need to really tax the Eagles if they try to trade him there. I need to see 17 first-round picks. Man. It's just
and then you look at teams like Washington. Yep. I could see Washington making the trade. They're young, want to stay young. You got any teams you want to throw in the pot?
Yeah, I'll be honest, man. When we talked about it, I can't remember if it was. Yeah, no, it was before the episode last week. You kind of convinced me with Chicago. I'm not gonna be. I'll be honest. Like it really does make sense, and I think if they do want this new era of Chicago Bear football with Caleb Williams, how great would that be to throw Micah Parsons on the other side of that?
Oh, 100%. And I also just wanted to bring up for reference, the last time, in my opinion, that we had an elite young edge rusher get traded, it was Khalil Mack.
Yep.
And where did he get traded to? The Bears. And for reference, so we kind of have an idea of what Mack may be, or not Mack, what Micah may be going for. Mack got traded to Chicago for 2 first-rounders, a 3rd-rounder, and a 6th-round pick, and then immediately signed in an extension with the Bears. At the time, 6 years, $140 million, which I could imagine if Micah were to get traded, go for probably more than that.
Yeah.
Although it is with the Cowboys, and Jerry might forget, his numbers. He might forget to throw some first rounders in there, so he might get cheated out a bit there. But and then I'd imagine he would have to sign a mega contract immediately, something that would just break NFL Twitter.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And then one other kind of dark horse team that I don't even know if it would be a dark horse just because they easily have the pieces and they easily have the money to do it, is the New England Patriots as well. And
oh man,
wow, yeah, that would be. Give Drake May something great. Throw Micah Parsons on the defensive side of the ball. They'll be seeing a lot more offense if that was the case. And we know they have all the money in the world, and they easily still do got the picks. I just think that can be a sleeper team to watch out for.
Could you imagine the cornerstones of that defense with Christian Gonzalez and Micah Parsons, man?
Dude, yeah, that would not be fair. Literally not be fair.
It would not at all. Man, I can't wait to see what's next for Micah Parsons and his saga, because it's clear that this chapter with Dallas and Jerry Jones it's over in terms of his playing time's over, but it's not over as the shocking news that continues to come out of Jerry Jones' mouth.
Yeah. See, I want to see.
So
the one thing I'm interested to see with this is I want to see if this is a Myles Garrett thing where, hey, what if Jerry just gives this guy a blank check? It's like, could he just see? I don't either. That's where I'm at. That's where I think it's different. I think Myles Garrett only did the trade because he just wanted the money.
He wanted to win.
Exactly. Yeah. When
he wanted to win, but money talks.
Exactly. And I just don't know. I don't know if that would happen with Micah.
I think Micah's past that
Dude,
point.
It sounds like he's really does not he's done with this team.
It's kind of like when you're trying to talk to a girl, you got everything going, and all of a sudden she ghosts you, right? And then she hits you back up. That's what's happened here.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons, he got ghosted, and now she's hitting him back up, but Micah Parsons moved on.
And
he's on to the next big thing.
And I could still say that I also read that 37 minutes ago, he said that the Cowboys haven't started contract talks with his representative, so his agent. So,
oh man,
yeah, I think he's gone. Keep it short and sweet.
Yeah,
he's
gone.
It'll be interesting to see where he ends up.
I just can't believe it.
Yeah. We'll see.
But yeah, I'm excited to see where both him and Terry McLaurin end up, as well as I'm sure we've got some more breaking news that's here to come in the next week before the next episode. But that is going to do it from us today for episode 2 of the Gridiron Network podcast. Make sure you tune in next week as we will be going over some, like I said, more breaking news. We'll probably have some fantasy talk in there. But
Yep.
thank you guys for tuning in as always, and we'll see you in the next one.